Hello and welcome to Master Jacko. This is, I think, my fourth live stream now. Going again. It's good to see cool kids already commented. It's fantastic. This one is all about solving equations and loads of exam questions. That's what I'm going to go through. If you do want me to go through anything in particular, just put it on the comments. If you have any questions about anything I'm going through, put it in the comments and I will have a look. If I can answer it now, I'll answer it, okay? It's great to see the first comment from Cool Kid. I'm not sure what that was for. Maybe that's hopefully excitement to my live stream. Right, I'll just get one off the screen there. Right, so we're going to start really basic and then slowly go up, okay, and increase the difficulty as it goes. So, in space here, find the number that will go in each box to make the calculation correct. These are your basic 1 mark questions, nice and easy, okay? So 4 plus something equals 15. So all you'll do the opposite of adding 4 and just go 15 minus 4, which equals 11. This dead easy, okay? Yeah, really straightforward. Now this one, 16 minus something equals 9. This one, you can't technically, a little trick this one, you can actually put the 9 there and just do, well, what's 16 minus 9? And that you should get 7. Yeah, most students don't really have many issues with these questions. They're quite straightforward. Okay, so now let's get a bit more, you're not always going to have the boxes like this. Let's get a little bit more algebraic now. So yeah, using algebra. So still 1-step equation, still 1 mark. So in terms of working out, you don't necessarily need working out. You can just go straight to the answer. Right, something divided by 2 equals 6.5. Remember, line of fraction means divide, yeah? So it's d divided by 2 equals 6.5. The opposite or the inverse of dividing is multiplying. So then you'll go d equals 6.5 multiplied by 2. So then d equals 13. And there's your answer for that one. Yeah, nice and easy. Be careful, don't fall into the trap of doing 6.5 divided by 2. Yeah, because that wouldn't be right. That'll be 3.25 and 3.25 divided by 2 doesn't give you this. Yeah, you've got to think inverse, opposite. That's basically a theme of this, inverse, opposite for each one. That's what we're thinking. Right, this one. A number next to a letter means multiply. I'm not going to go in this much detail on all of them because eventually I'll go from a lot quicker, but just for the first few, just picking out some key parts. 4 multiplied by something equals 24, yeah? So 4 times something equals 24. So I do the opposite of multiplying by 4, which is dividing by 4. So A equals 6. Yeah, 24 divided by 4 equals 6. Nice and easy. Right, something, add something, add something equals 39. And you can see it is the same variable, okay? You could write that as 3x equals 39. Yeah, that if you simplified it, that won't get you any marks as such, but may make it easier for some. So you'll do 39 divided by 3, which equals 13. And that is the answer for that one. Right, this one, 36 divided by something equals 9. A little trick you can do, you can actually just swap those around and change it to 36 divided by 9 equals y. Yeah, and your answer, you'll get 4. Y equals 4. Yeah, that is the answer for this one. Now, this one, the opposite of subtracting is adding. So just do 19 plus 5. So then A equals 24. These are nice and easy little 1 mark questions. Yeah, so 3 marks there because if you got all 3, you get all 3 marks. But it's 1 mark per question. Right, let's move further and get a bit more different now and what else they could throw at you. So now it is involving some brackets. Okay, I'm just going to get the light so you make it more bright. Hopefully that's a little bit better there. Right, so you got this wire over here. There you go. Shadow line. There you go, that's it better. So, right. So this I've got a little bracket here. So what you can do, you can expand the bracket. So it basically you go 4 multiplied by a, it's got expanding brackets, and 4 multiplied by minus 3. So 4 times a is 4a. 4 times minus 3 is minus 12. And that equals 22. Yeah. The opposite of subtracting is adding. So you add 12 onto 22. So 4a equals 34. And that's your first answer there. That'll be 1 mark if this was an exam. And now you're going to divide 34 by 4. Yeah, so you're going to go 34 divided by 4. And that gets you half 34, 17. Half 17 is 8.5. And yet, don't be confused. If you get a decimal, it's perfectly normal. So if you, on a non-calculated paper, get a decimal is absolutely fine, okay? It's perfectly normal if you get a decimal. Right. Oh, there we go. That's better lighting. Right. Let's move on. So now you've got similar, basic, same question, just different numbers. So 5 times x, that'll be 5x. 5 times minus 6 is minus 30, and that equals 65. And then opposite subtracting 30 is adding 30, so you're going to add that onto 65. So 5x equals 95. And then you are going to divide by 5. So that x equals, that will be 19. Yeah, these are quite straightforward. Just solving equations, 1 step and 2 step. Yeah, that's all it is in that one. Right then, next one. Same again, similar type of questions. 8 times m is 8m. 8 times minus 5 is minus 40, and that equals 48. And you're going to add 40 onto 48. So 8m equals 88. Then you're going to divide by 8. So m equals 11. Yeah, obviously, I'm going through this a bit quicker. If you need a bit more time, the recording of this I will post on my channel, so you can go back through and double check any questions and go through a bit slower. Maybe try and answer them before I get to go through the question. Okay, any questions though, do leave a comment and I will get back to you. Right then, these are quite basic ones. Let's step it up a little bit more now. Okay, I will do a few more in context. I just tried to pick a good variety of questions. Okay, right then, so 2-step, but I'm trying to get ones that do confuse people and do throw people off. Okay, right. So we got 2x over 3 equals 6. I'll make the camera a little bit closer. There we go. Right, much better. Right, so then what you're going to do, you're going to do the denominator first. So the opposite of dividing by 3 is multiplying by 3. So then 2x equals 18. Yeah, I've done 6 times 3. And then I'm just going to divide by 2. So x equals 9. Yeah. Right, similar one before. I'm not going to do too much in this one. I'm going to go straight to expanded. Oh, I put m instead of n. 2n plus 10 equals 15. And then I'm going to take the 10 away from the 15. So 2n equals 5. And n would equal 2.5. Yeah, decimals, perfectly normal, and these types of questions have. If it was on a calculator paper, you may have more awkward decimals, not always 0.5. It could be like 0.4 or 0.3 or something like that. But on a calculator paper, on a non-calculator, 0.5 is pretty common. Right, this one. Be careful. Unlike this one, the fraction is just on this part here. It's not the whole thing. So you won't go straight to the denominator on this one, because you could do that where you the 3 first and multiply out, but you might make more mistakes. You could go, right, 5 times 3, 4 times 3, and that way, but that'll be more trickier, okay? You might make a mistake. I'll deal with this minus 5 first, add it onto the 4. So you're going to get y over 3 equals 9. And then you're going to multiply by 3. So then y equals 27. Yeah, and that's that one. Next one. So this confuses some students as well because it goes 3 equals than this. If you want to, you can rewrite it 9 minus 4k equals 3 if you want to. You don't necessarily get a mark for that, but you might find it a bit easier. Right, so same again, there's a few ways you can do this one. I'll probably move the 9 over and take the 9 off the 3 first, but remember, it's still a minus 4k there, and then 3, subtract 9, be careful because you're going into minuses, is minus 6. And then that's multiply there, so you're going to divide by minus 4. So k equals minus 6 divided by minus 4. And you could have an answer like this, Remember, a minus divided by another minus. So that'll be k equals 6 divided by 4. That is 1.5. Positive 1.5. Yeah, when you divide two negative numbers. Or you could have it as 1 and 1/2. That's also fine as an answer. Okay, so let's move on a bit more. So on this one, I'm just going to separate it a little bit so it's not in the way. This one is similar to up here, this one. So you're going to 5 multiplied by 4. So that'll be d plus 3 equals 20. And then you're going to subtract 3. So d equals 17. Nice and easy on that one. All right, next one. Bit different because you've got a W here and a W there. You've got a letter on each side, okay? So what I'd do first is deal with this. So because that's a positive 4W, you're going to take that off that one. So that'll become 2W equals 9. And then you're just going to divide by 2. So then W equals 4.5. Right, so that's your 1 and 2 step equations pretty much done, as you would see in its easiest form like this. Yeah, and all these ones here. These are quite your basic ones, okay? So now let's change it up where you're going to have on both sides of the equation, yeah, where it does change and get a little bit more trickier. Okay, so I tell my students, get your smallest value of x and then take that from the other one, yeah, because it's positive, right? So the smallest value of x is 3x, because 3x is smaller than 5x. And because it's positive, I'm going to take that from the 5x. So I'm going to take 3x from both sides. So then you are left with 12 equals 5x subtract 3x is 2x plus 4. Yeah, 3x minus 3x is 0. So I don't need to put a 0 or anything there. And then that looks something like I had before. So I'll take away 4 from 12. So then I'll go up here. 8 equals 2x, and I'll divide by 2, so that'll be 4. Yeah, and if you want to check it, I can substitute that value back into that equation. So I can go 3 times 4, which is 12, add 12 is 24, 5 times 4 is 20, add 4 is 24. So I know it's correct. That's how you would double check your answers. But I'm not going to do that for every single question because it'll take a long time doing that. Right, this one. I don't like when they use S's because I think S's, some students confuse them with the number 5. You don't see it all the time. Generally, like use other letters instead. So if you look here, what's the smallest value of S? Minus 2S, because minus 2S is smaller than 1S. So then that's negative, change to positive. So then 10, you're going to add it onto the other side. So 10 equals S plus 2S is 3S minus 8. You can see there it's already starting to look like a 5. Try and make it not to. So that's 3s minus 8. And then we're going to add that on to the 18. So 18 equals 3s. And then we divide 18 by 3. Equals 6. So then s equals 6. Yeah, remember line of fraction means divide. Yeah, I can write 18 divided by 3 if I wanted to, but sometimes I like to write it as a fraction. Just simplifies it a little bit more. Keep it more tidy. Right then, last one on this page. So another one with equation on both sides. You can do letters. You can do the numbers first if you want to. Doesn't really matter. I'm just going to sit with letters, but I could do the numbers first. You'll still get the same answer. Right. Smallest t is 70. And because it's positive, I'm going to take it away from, I'll double check my last answer. I'm going to take it away from 10t. So I'm going to minus a 70 minus 70. So that'll be 3t minus 19 equals minus 14. Now, the opposite of subtracting 19 is adding 19. So I'm going to plus 19, 3t, and that would be 5. Weird on this one because I'm going to get a bit of a weird answer, okay? But it's absolutely fine. As long as you remember, because 3 multiplied by something equals 5, so I'm still going to divide by 3. Yes, and get a decimal, but I can also write my answer as a fraction or a mixed number. So I can write, this is where I like to write sometimes my answer and working out as fractions like this. I can put 5 over 3. And in this instance, that's fine as an answer. I could leave my answer like that. Or if you really want to, I can change it to 1 2/3. Yeah. Or really want to be cool, I can go 1.6 recurring if you really want to. Yeah. those three answers are all okay. Okay, so that's these two pages then, or your basic solving equations. Now we're going to apply it a bit more, okay? A bit more wordy. Yeah, we got to pick out the key information. So let's have a little look. So this is our first one. I'm having a drink because the last live stream I did, my throat was going after a while. Right, I'm just going to move the camera a little bit more up so you can see the question. So just looking at part A, the skills are the same, but it's just in words. So you've got to kind of pick out the command words in the question. So the lengths in centimeters of the sides of a triangle are 3x minus 5, 2x minus 1, x plus 1. It's basic explaining this. Yeah. They have to tell you what this is, that these expressions are explaining the size of the triangle. They're expressions because they don't equal anything yet. No, until I do something with it. Now it says here, write down an expression. Yeah, an expression, not an equation, in terms of x for the perimeter of the triangle. So perimeter, if you had a normal shape, you'd add all the sides together. You're going to still apply that concept here on this triangle, okay? You are just adding the sides together. However, instead of just pure numbers, you've got letters as well. So easy way, if you're going to do it long form, it'll be 3x minus 5 plus 2x minus 1 plus x plus 1. And then you would simplify that answer, okay? And the same thing, I'm just going to go 3x plus 2x plus x. So that is 6x altogether. And then minus 5 minus 1 is minus 6. Minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. And that is the answer for this question here. Yeah, 6x minus 5. And that's an expression because it doesn't equal anything. And that's where part B is going to come into it. So the perimeter of the triangle is 31 centimeters. So now it's given me a value. So now that 6x minus 5 equals 31 because it's told me that's what the perimeter is now. So now I've got an equation. So I can work out the value of x. So then I'll solve it just like before. So I'm going to add 5 onto 31. So 6x equals 36. And I'm going to divide by 6. So x equals 6. Yeah. And that is it. Sometimes a part C might be use a number that you've just calculated and put it back in and tell you what each side is worth. So then you'd put 6 into this, substitute it in and do 3 times 6 minus 5, 6 plus 1, and so on. It doesn't say that in this question, but that could be another part to it. Okay. So the same skill, it's just in words, more exam style. All right, so let's move on a little bit. Yeah, again, this is being recorded. I'll post it on the channel. So you want to have a go yourself first before I go through it. You can pause a video and have a go yourself. Right, question 2. So similar, but the rectangle. Yeah, a rectangle has a length of 2x plus 3 and a width of x plus 5. Okay, find an expression for the perimeter of the rectangle. Same thing. However, this time, what will catch some students out, there is no values here. Yeah, there are no values. So then I'm going to put the value because in a rectangle, these two sides are the same length and these two sides are also the same length. So I'm going to put 2x plus 3 there. I'm going to put x plus 5 there. Yeah, you probably won't get any marks for this yet in an exam, but it'll just help you out and it might jog your memory, okay, and how to solve these problems. And then expression of the perimeter, same thing again. Add all the x's. So 2x plus 2x plus x plus x. So that will be 6x. And then add the numbers. Like so. So 3 add 5 is 8. Add 3 is 11. Add 5 is 16. Yeah. 6x plus 16. So now I have an expression for the perimeter. So that'll be 6x plus 16. Now, that's part A done. Given the rectangle has a perimeter of 43 centimeters, find the value of x. So like before, I have my expression Now I'm going to turn it into an equation by making it equal something. So I'm going to go 6x plus 16, and it's going to equal 43. And now I'm going to solve that equation just like I did before. So I'm going to take away 16 from there. So 6x equals 27. And then just double checking that it's correct. And I'm going to divide by 6. So then x, make sure you can see there, equals 27 divided by 6. I'm just double checking because it's going to give me a weird answer. That's absolutely fine. Right. So then 6 doesn't go in 27, but I can write my answer as a mixed number. So how many 6s are in 27? That is 4 and 3 left over. 4 and 3, 6. Or you can write that as 4.5. That's what it simplifies to, or 4.5. I just want to show you that all those answers are correct. You are not expected to write every single one of them down, but either one of those answers is correct, okay? Because it doesn't say simplify your answer or anything like that. So I hope that helped a little bit as well. A bit more, it's the same skills, but just in a wordy exam question. Right then. So now let's apply it to different concepts now. Because solving equations, if you can do solving equations, it's going to help you massively in the exam. Right, there you are. So find the value of x. It's generally always x, sometimes these other letters. So you see, what do we have here? So this is angles around a point, and I know they all add up to 360 degrees. We need to know this is a right angle because it has this here. And that is 90 degrees because it's a right angle. So then 2x plus 3x plus 90 equals 360. So if I write all that out, 2x plus 3x plus 90 equals 360 degrees. So then I'll just solve it as normal. So 2x or 3x will be 5x plus 90 equals 360. Take that away from that. 5x equals 270. So then 270 divided by 5. And just for speed, I'm going to do that on the calculator. That is 54. That's it. Yet again, like questions before, I've got 54. It might ask you to work out the actual angle. So using that number, you'll then substitute it into these expressions here. So you do 3 times 54, 2 times 54 to find out the size of each angle. Right. Let's go on. These are pretty much all foundation questions as well. So not necessarily on the higher. They might be at the start of the higher, but we refer to them in teaching as crossover questions. And crossover means they're on the foundation paper and the higher paper. That's what crossover questions refers to. So the diagram shows a right angled triangle. The area of the triangle is 294 centimeters squared. Okay, work out the value of x. So those are on to area of a triangle. You are just going to do base multiplied by the height, and you're going to half it, and that gets you the area of a triangle. So this time you're not given just straight up numbers, you are given letters as well. So then you are just going to do 4x multiplied by 3x, divide that by 2, and it's told the area is 294. You would get a mark for that. That'll be 1 mark because it shows that you understand what to do. So then 4x times 3x, that is 12x squared divided by 2 equals 294. Just so I've got more space, I'm going to go down here a little bit, okay, so you can still see it. So I'll put this one over here. So little trick, because I can simplify this already. Normally, as before, I could go 294 multiplied by 2, but I'm going to simplify that first. So that will be 6x squared equals 294. So then if this is non-calculator, I don't have to try and do that first and possibly make a mistake. So 294 divided by 6, so x squared. And just for speed, I'm going to do it on my calculator. 294 divided by 6 equals 49. And then something squared equals 49. So then that'll be the square root of 49. So then x equals 7. Now, those that were really clever might point out when you square a number, it can be positive or negative, which is true. However, in this example, because it's lengths, you can't have a negative length. So in this example, the answer is 7 because you cannot have a negative length. Yeah, can't say my table weighs or measures minus 10 meters. Like that wouldn't make sense. Not that you'd have a 10-meter table, that's huge. But you know what I mean. All right, bit more trickier compared to before, but still algebra skills and solving equations. Right, let's step it up that little bit more. Okay, so slightly different questions involving different topics. Okay, so here we have a parallelogram. I'll just zoom out a little bit so you can see a bit more. There you go. Right, so parallelogram. ABCD is a parallelogram. Yeah, ABCD. Yeah, so don't let this terminology confuse you. Sometimes this can throw people off. They just have to explain what this is. Okay. All measurements are in centimeters. The perpendicular height of the parallelogram is 5 centimeters. Perpendicular is where two lines meet at a right angle. So it means the height of the triangle is 5 centimeters, like that. Okay. That's what it means. If you're wondering this, patchy, this was a bit of water from my glass before, but luckily it's not on the question. So perpendicular height, a lot of people think the height of the parallelogram, big misconception, is this diagonal line here. That's not the case. It is this. Okay. Right. Perpendicular height is 5 centimeters. Find the area of ABCD. So normally you would do this multiplied by this. Yeah. And that's what you would do for that one. Right, you want the area. So if we just did that multiplied by that, that's not going to get us the actual answer. Okay. However, we have to realize a bit more on this one. Those two sides are the same length. I know they don't physically have the same numbers, but they are the same length. Like you'll see in a minute. Okay. Like I know in the rectangle, it's like 3x plus 5, 3x plus 5, the same ones. But what we have to do, you have to make them equal to each other. So what that means is we have to go 3x plus 5 equals 5x minus 9. So then we're solving equations with x in both sides. So there'll be 5 equals 2x minus 9. Yeah, so I've took away a 3x from the 5x. I'm not just writing the full working out now because I did a lot of that before. If you want me to go through that in more detail, just check back on my previous questions. And then I'm going to add the 9 to the 5. So that'll be 14 equals 2x. So then 7 equals x. So now this I was saying before, you might have to substitute your number back in. So we've got a side length. That's what you got to do, okay? So now I know x equals 7. I'm going to substitute that back in because I'll need to do that to get the area. So I'll do, for this, I'm going to do 5 multiplied by 7 minus 9. 5 times 7 is 35. 35 minus 9 is 26. So I know that is 26 centimeters. Just to prove to you, these are the same, and hopefully it is now, otherwise I'm going to look really silly. 3 multiplied by 7 plus 5. 3 times 7 is 21. Add 5, that equals 26. So even though those expressions are different, they equal the same length. That's why they're both 26. Now, area, so now probably got 3 marks now for doing all this. First, you'll get a mark for this. Then you'll get a mark for working that out, and you'll get a mark for 26. To get a final mark, you'll then have to work out the area. So 26 multiplied by 5. So area equals 26 times 5. And that equals 130 centimeters squared. And that is it. So yeah, it is a 4-mark question. So it is going to need a lot more working out, which is why there's quite a few skills involved. But yet again, if you can do, get a few marks from it, have a go, see how far you can get. Yeah, really important in the exam. Right then, let's go a little bit more. So algebra based, we can use algebra to solve this one. So Adam has some marbles. I'm gonna have a little drink, you have a little read. Now, Adam has some marbles. Bradley has twice as many marbles as Adam. That should say as Adam. A bit of a spelling mistake there. Shocking exams. Chris has 5 more marbles than Bradley. In total, they have 55 marbles. How many marbles does Chris have? So that can be really confusing for a lot of students. But we just take it sentence by sentence. So I would go, right, A for Adam. Adam has some marbles, so I'm going to call it X. Adam has X marbles. Now, Bradley has twice as many marbles as Adam. So then, if Adam has X, Bradley has 2X. Yes, hopefully you've seen that link. So, for example, don't know yet. If Adam has 10, Bradley has 20. Yeah, so that'll be those two done. Right, Chris has 5 more marbles than Bradley. So, Chris has whatever Bradley has plus 5. Yeah, so already I've done them 3, and that'll be marks already in exam to create those. And now, in total, they have 55 marbles. So then I've got to make that equal to 55. So then the next mark will be if I went 2x plus 5 equals 55. And then I'll just solve it like before. So then 2x equals 50. So then x equals 25. Yeah. However, I've not fully got the answer just yet. I've solved it, so now x equals 25. However, I need to now find out how many marbles Chris has. So then I've got to substitute that number into that equation. So I'm going to do 2 times 25 plus 5. Have I made a mistake on this? Oh, sorry. I realised I made a mistake on this one. Oh, absolutely shocking. That is. Oh dear. Absolutely terrible. Right. This is where I read the question. I knew I've stumped myself on then. Right. I've completely missed a bit out. I need to add all them together. Completely my fault that was. Right. X plus 2x plus 2x plus 5. I really apologise for that one. Equals 55. Yeah. Ignore that bit. Even the best of us make mistakes sometimes. So there are all the expressions. I have to add those first and then solve it. I jumped the gun, okay? But I will, what I was doing, I will need to do that in a minute, but with a different number. So I'm going to simplify this first. So I've got 5x plus 5 equals 55. And then I'm going to solve it. So I'm going to take away 5 from there. So 5x equals 50. So x equals 10. Right. And that number is going to go in that equation. There we go. So 2x plus 5 equals, so we know x is 10. Okay. So then I'm going to substitute 10 into there. So that'll be 2 times 10 plus 5. So that'll be 20 plus 5, which equals 25. Apologies for that one. So Chris has 25. My fault on that one. Okay, let's step it up now. Last few questions we've got. Okay, last few. Right, here we go. So getting a bit more challenging now. A lot more wordy. Yeah, a lot more wordy. We've got 2 of them. This one down here is similar to what we just had. So now angles. So I'll leave that there. Those joined, have a little read and see what you think. If you can get the answer before I get the answer. It is 5 marks as well. Okay. So it's going to need a bit of working out. Right. The size of the largest angle in a triangle is 3 times the size of the smallest angle. The other angle is 35 degrees more than the smallest angle. Work out in degrees the size of each angle in the triangle. You must show your working out. So really important showing our working out. So in a triangle, we have 3 angles, okay? The size of the large angle is 3 times the size of the smallest angle. So the smallest angle is x. Oh, yeah, smallest angle is x. And the large angle is 3 times the size of the smallest. So that must mean that's 3x. And the other angle is 35 more than the smallest. So then that would be x plus 35. Yeah. And then how many degrees in a triangle? 180. Right. And that's your starting point there. So then that would equal 180 degrees. And then you would simplify it. So then that'll be 5x plus 35 equals 180. And then take that away from that. So 5x equals, that'll be 145. X divided by 5. Just for speed, I'll listen to my calculator. 145 divided by 5. That is 29. So I've not got the size of each angle yet. I just know that's the smallest one. So I've got my 3 angles. So I know 29 is one of them. And the largest one is going to be 3 times that, which just double check, I think is 87. Yeah, 87. So 29, 87. And then the other one is 35 more than that. So 29 plus 35, which is 64. So there are my 3 angles. Right. If you want to double check it, you could add them all together and it should make 180. Right, last question. So obviously quite wordy, 5 marks. There's a lot going on in these questions. Right, this one's 4 marks, this one. So it's similar to before. It's just quite wordy. So leave there for a second, I'll read. Okay, so Lucy is 3 times as old as Alex. Lucy is 7 years older than Megan. The sum of their ages is 126. Find the ratio, oh, it's a bit more in this one, the ratio of Alex's age to Lucy's age to Megan's age. Just bringing ratio in now, solving equations. It's such a big topic, ratio, so much in it. Lucy's 3 times old as Alex. So let's go. Alex, Lucy, so write it as a ratio already, and Megan. Lucy's 3 times old as Alex. So if Alex is X, you can use whatever letter you want. I just use X, it's just the most common one. Lucy is 3 times old Alex, so Lucy is 3x. And then Lucy is 7 years older than Megan. So then Megan is older than Megan. Oh, so see, that's tricking people, that one. Because Lucy's 3 times old as Alex. Well, so then Alex is at Lucy's 3x. Lucy is 7 years older than Megan. Be really careful, because a lot of people will put Megan as 3x plus 7. But remember, Megan's not 7 years older, Lucy is, so that'll be 3x minus 7. Yeah, you'll get a mark for that. And now the sum of their ages is 126. So then I'm going to add those together. So then x plus 3x plus 3x minus 7 equals 126. Then I'm going to simplify as before. I find with these questions, once you get this bit, it's straightforward then. It's just unpicking the words first, which makes it confusing. So 7x minus 7 equals 126. That's 133. So do this now. 133 divided by 7 is 19. Right. I've got x now. Not finished it. So I've got to substitute that number into these, okay? Because it wants me to find the ratio of their ages. Right, so x is 19. So I'm going to do a ratio like this. So then 3 will be 57. And then 7 years younger, so that must be 50. There you go. And if you're going to work them out, those 3 numbers should add up to 126, which they do. Right then, so that is a lot of questions I've just gone through then. Hopefully that was really beneficial. Obviously, if you've missed it, it'll be recorded on my channel, so do go back and look through the questions. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments or if anything you want me to go for my next live stream, message me, let me know, and I could possibly include it. Take care, and hopefully I'll see you on my next live stream. See you later.